Ladies and gentlemen, today, we're diving into the extraordinary life of a true American icon, a man whose voice, music, and presence have become synonymous with the very soul of country music. Willie Nelson, the red-headed stranger, is not just a musician, he's a cultural legend, a rebel, and a poet whose influence spans generations. His life is a tale of talent, tenacity, and an unwavering dedication to his craft. Early life: Willie Hugh Nelson was born on April 29, 1933, in the small town of Abbott, Texas. His birth was in the depths of the Great Depression, and like many of that era, his family struggled to make ends meet. Willie and his sister, Bobby, were raised by their grandparents after their parents separated. It was a tough beginning, but one that would shape the resilient spirit that Nelson carried throughout his life. Music was a cornerstone in Willie's childhood. His grandparents were devoted music lovers and encouraged him to learn. Willie received his first guitar at the tender age of 6 and quickly showed a natural talent. By the time he was 7, he was already writing his own songs, a harbinger of the prolific songwriter he would become. Willie's early influences were diverse. He grew up listening to everything from gospel and blues to jazz and honky-tonk, a blend of genres that would later define his unique sound. His love for music only deepened as he played in local bands and even worked as a disc jockey at a local radio station during his teenage years. But life in Abbott was limited, and Willie had dreams that stretched far beyond the confines of his small hometown. Struggles and early career: after high school, Willie enlisted in the Air Force but was medically discharged due to back problems. He briefly attended Baylor University but dropped out to pursue music full-time. This was the beginning of a long and winding road that would eventually lead to stardom, but not without its share of struggles. In the early 1950s, Willie moved to Nashville, the heart of country music. He hoped to make a name for himself, but the road was not easy. He worked various jobs, selling encyclopedias, vacuum cleaners, and even as a door-to-door salesman, to make ends meet while he tried to break into the music scene. During this time, he penned songs that would later become classics, such as "Crazy," made famous by Patsy Cline, and "Hello Walls," a hit for Farron Young. But despite his songwriting success, Willie's own recording career failed to take off. Willie's distinct voice and unconventional style didn't fit the polished Nashville sound of the time. His frustration with the industry grew. And in the early 1970s, he decided to leave Nashville and return to Texas. This move would prove to be a turning point in his career, outlaw country, and breakthrough. Back in Texas, Willie found a burgeoning music scene that was much more aligned with his style: raw, authentic, and rebellious. Along with other like-minded musicians such as Waylon Jennings, Willie became a leader of the outlaw country movement. This genre was a response to the slick, overproduced sound coming out of Nashville. It was gritty, rooted in the traditions of country music but with a rebellious edge. In 1973, Willie's album, Shotgun Willie, marked his true breakthrough. Though it wasn't a massive commercial success, it was critically acclaimed and showcased the beginning of Willie's signature style, a mix of country, blues, jazz, and gospel, with lyrics that were deeply personal and reflective. This was followed by the albums Phases and Stages in 1974 and the landmark Red-Headed Stranger in 1975. Red-Headed Stranger, in particular, was a game-changer. It was a concept album, a rarity in country music, and its stripped-down production was a stark contrast to the polished sounds dominating the airwaves. The album's single, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, became Willie's first #1 hit as a singer and solidified his status as a country music icon. Personal life and challenges: while Willie's career was soaring, his personal life was tumultuous. He married and divorced 3 times, and his relationships were often marked by infidelity and financial troubles. Despite these challenges, Willie remained deeply devoted to his children, and his close-knit family would later become an integral part of his life on the road and in the studio. One of the most significant challenges Willie faced was his long-running battle with the IRS. In 1990, the IRS claimed that Willie owed $32 million in back taxes. This was due in part to bad investments and financial mismanagement by his former accountants. To settle the debt, Willie was forced to sell nearly all of his assets, including his beloved ranch in Texas. But in true Willie fashion, he didn't let this setback defeat him. Instead, he released the album, The IRS Tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories, with all proceeds going to pay off his tax debt. Willie's fans, ever loyal, bought the album in droves, and eventually, he was able to pay off his debt, legacy, and later years. As Willie Nelson entered the latter part of his career, he became more than just a musician, he became a cultural icon. His image, braided hair, bandana, and ever-present guitar trigger, became as recognizable as his music. He was known for his activism, particularly in the areas of environmentalism, animal rights, and the legalization of marijuana, a cause he has long championed. Willie's later albums continued to receive critical acclaim. He never stopped touring, often playing more than 100 shows a year well into his 80s. His voice, weathered but still soulful, and his guitar playing, as distinctive as ever, continued to captivate audiences around the world. In 2015, Willie published his memoir, It's a Long Story, My Life, in which he reflected on his life, career, and the lessons he had learned along the way. The memoir was a candid and honest account, revealing the highs and lows of his journey. In 2019, Willie released his 69th studio album, Ride Me Back Home, proving that even after more than 6 decades in the industry, he was still a creative force to be reckoned with. His music continued to evolve, blending genres and pushing boundaries, while staying true to the spirit of country music. As Willie Nelson aged, he didn't slow down, in fact, he seemed to gain momentum. His collaborations with other artists became legendary, crossing genres and bringing together a diverse array of musicians. He recorded with everyone from fellow country legends like Merle Haggard and Dolly Parton to younger artists like Sheryl Crow and Snoop Dogg. These collaborations underscored Willie's broad appeal and his ability to bridge musical worlds. One of the most significant collaborations in Willie's later years was with Merle Haggard. Their 2015 album, Django and Jimmy, was a tribute to their musical heroes Django Reinhardt and Jimmy Rogers. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard Country Albums chart, proving that even in their 80s, these two titans of country music were still at the top of their game. Willie's influence also extended into the world of philanthropy. He was a co-founder of Farm Aid, a benefit concert series that began in 1985 to raise awareness about the plight of American farmers. Alongside Neil Young and John Mellencamp, Willie has helped to raise millions of dollars to support family farms across the United States. Farm Aid has become an annual event, and Willie's commitment to the cause has never wavered. His activism in this area reflects his deep connection to the land and the people who work it, a connection that has been a recurring theme in his music. Willie Nelson, the icon. As we look at the broader cultural impact of Willie Nelson, it's clear that he is more than just a country music star. He is an American icon, someone whose image and music have become ingrained in the national consciousness. His outlaw persona, complete with his signature braids, bandana, and ever-present guitar trigger, symbolizes a spirit of independence and defiance that resonates with people far beyond the world of country music. Willie's role as an advocate for the legalization of marijuana has also been a significant part of his legacy. He has long been open about his use of cannabis, and his advocacy has helped to shift public perception and contribute to the growing acceptance of marijuana in the United States. In 2015, he even launched his own brand of cannabis products, Willie's Reserve, which has been a successful venture and further cemented his status as a cultural icon. Health and resilience. Despite his age and the hard-living lifestyle that often accompanies a life on the road, Willie Nelson has shown remarkable resilience. In the latter part of his life, Willie has faced health challenges, including emphysema and pneumonia, which have occasionally forced him to cancel performances. However, each time he has bounced back, returning to the stage with the same energy and passion that has defined his career. Willie's health has also prompted him to make lifestyle changes. He quit smoking cigarettes in the early 2000s, switched to vaping, and focused on staying healthy through a vegetarian diet and regular exercise. His commitment to his health is a testament to his enduring passion for music and performing. He has always said that as long as he can play his guitar and sing, he will continue to perform. The enduring appeal of Willie Nelson. As Willie Nelson continues to tour and record new music, his fan base remains as loyal as ever. Younger generations have discovered his music, drawn by its authenticity and the deep emotional connection it offers. In an era where music often feels overproduced and commercialized, Willie's simple, heartfelt songs stand out. His ability to connect with audiences of all ages speaks to the timelessness of his music and the universal themes it explores: love, loss, redemption, and the pursuit of freedom. Willie's life story is one of resilience, creativity, and an unyielding commitment to his craft. He has faced countless challenges, both personal and professional, but has always emerged stronger, with his spirit intact. His music, much like the man himself, is a reflection of the American experience, capturing the joys and struggles of life in a way that is both deeply personal and universally relatable. Final reflections. As we conclude this exploration of Willie Nelson's life and career, it's clear that he is a figure whose impact transcends the world of music. He is a cultural icon, a symbol of freedom and independence, and a voice for the voiceless. His music has brought joy and comfort to millions, and his legacy will undoubtedly endure for generations to come. Willie Nelson's journey from the small town of Abbott, Texas, to the heights of musical stardom is a story of perseverance and passion. He has remained true to himself and his music, never compromising on his vision, and in doing so, he has left an indelible mark on the world. As Willie once sang, "On the road again, just can't wait to get on the road again." This line captures the essence of Willie Nelson, a man who has spent his life on the road, sharing his music with the world. And as long as there is a road to travel and a song to sing, Willie Nelson will continue to inspire, entertain, and remind us all of the power of music and the human spirit.